Well, hello everyone, welcome down to this week's Quest for the Open video, and you join me first of all here at North Manchester. Now, I'm playing in the North Region Lancs Champs, the North Region PGA Champs over the next couple of days. Now, it's a 2-round event. Last year I played pretty well in it. I think I came 5th or 6th, so I want to try and play that a little bit better this year. If you don't know what the Quest for the Open videos are, every year I try and enter Open qualifying to progress to the actual Open. Now, this year the Open's been cancelled because of the pandemic, but what the series is truly about is trying to improve my game, passing on that information to you guys in the hope that you can improve your golf as well. Now, this week's Quest for the Open video is all about how I'm preparing my mind, and last week was the first time I actually touched upon this subject with the guys over at Winning Golf Mind. And my goal for the comp tomorrow is very, very simple. I'm going to react to every single shot with a very even keel. I'm going to use quiet eye, but I'm actually going to note down how successful that I am. But let's explain some of these things in a little bit more detail. If you've been following my channel for a while, you might recognize the names, so hopefully you recognize these names anyway, but Stenson Molinari. So I used to do something called the FSX Skills Challenge, and I became the best in the world at that game. And one of the key components to my success at that game was basically keeping my emotions in check. Now, the way that I did that in a rather weird, creepy kind of way was after every shot, chant Stenson and Molinari, because they are very cool customers on the golf course, and it just reminded me to chill out. So that is the first goal for the next 2 days of competition. After every shot and before every shot, just tell myself, Stenson Molinari. Now, I'm not going to be doing it out loud because, you know, that would absolutely terrify my playing partners, but what I am going to be doing is marking it down on a scorecard, and every time that I don't do it, I'm going to do a little tip. So every time I have a little outburst of emotion, a little petulant fit, that's going to be a fail as far as that is concerned. But there's another reason why I need to stay calm at the moment, and that is because I'm knackered. Every now and again I go through phases of just not sleeping, and for whatever reason I just can't seem to break out of it. I think it's mainly because I'm on my phone and my laptop too much, so I'm not going to do that for the rest of today. Hopefully get a good night's sleep before tomorrow, but if I stay calm and I stay in control, I'm obviously going to be using up a lot less energy. Flirting with disaster on this par 4. Allow me just to get the distance with my new Bushnell. If you didn't see my posts on social media, I just signed up a partnership with Bushnell, so I'm going to be bringing you some pretty cool videos with these guys. And I mean, I've been using Bushnell stuff for years and years, so to actually get a partnership with a company whose products I really like, it's great. I'm not going to bang on about this too much because it was covered in last week's Quest for the Open vlog, but basically, quiet eye is the ability to focus on a spot on the ball in golf, but where you focus your mind to the extent that it switches off from external cues and also stuff like swing thoughts. Now, on the full swing, I've not really been able to do it that well yet, but on the shorter shots, so chips and putting, it has improved my short putting no end, honestly. Now, North Region Champs is at Pleasington Golf Club, which is one actually my favourite golf clubs around here. I love it. But I couldn't get out for a practice round today. It was already full, which is a little bit annoying. I left the booking till too late. However, I am so glad I came out here this evening. And for a start, the rains have cleared from earlier in the day. It is a beautiful, beautiful northwest summer's evening. Sun is shining, the birds are singing, and now the golf ball's starting to fly straight. I think I've figured something out in my swing. Thank goodness. The last thing that I'm really going to be focusing on tomorrow, and this is something which made a massive difference after the session with the Winning Golf Mind guys, and that was my pre-shot routine and my shot visualization. So very simply, all I'm doing before I hit the shot is just asking myself, what does it look like? That draws the image in my mind very clearly, almost like I'm seeing a shot tracer. And once I've got that image in my mind, all I'm telling my body is, make it happen. Ooh. So first 18 done of the North Region Champs here at Pleasington, and yeah, I am just hitting it a little bit crap, a little bit all over the place. I've just had a quick message with Dan, sending some videos from some of the practice I did yesterday, and he suggested a few things. So loading up my right hip a little bit more on the backswing, because I've got a two-way miss, so I was missing left and right today. Fortunately, my putter saved me and I had a 2 over, but it could have been so much worse. I think leading at the moment is 5 under. Andy Palmer, who I play with, is 3 under. He should have been 5 under. Had an exceptionally unlucky double bogey. Hit a perfectly good shot, kind of bounced through the green, and we somehow lost it in the grass after the green. Also played with Hayden McCullen, who won the Leeds Cup last week. He didn't have his best day. I think he's missed a cup. So I'm going to get home. I'm going to have a little bit of a practice inside, because he started to smash it down now, and go again tomorrow. As far as what I was trying to work on mentally, not showing any emotion after the shot proved almost impossible for me. Visualization of the shots I was actually quite pleased with, and then my visualization and my putting was good. So shot 1 over in the second round. down. But I'm gonna get onto that in a minute, because I've come down to see Dan the man in my moment of despair about my game. It's not that bad, it's all right. Actually, I didn't play too bad, but I'll get into more of the psychological aspects and the stuff that I've been working on after this. But I was really struggling, hitting it both left and right. Fix me, Dan.
I'll do my best to fix you, mate. You know what?
Me. I've had 2 days of being just an absolute moron, but honestly, I'm knackered. I'm absolutely shattered. This guy could be playing better golf than me at the moment. Okay, session done, and I'm basically just going to hand over to Dan now, who's going to explain what I was doing wrong and now what I'm doing right, and how it's all going to be rainbows, fluffy sheep, and I don't know, chocolate bunny rabbits from now on, something like that.
What we've done today, mate, is making sure that we are getting that hip turn back. So we went over that footage from when you're playing the tournament, so ensuring that this right hip is loading back behind you. And this is key, because obviously you've got the hip speed, and having that hip going back allows you to have the space to move the arms down into in this direction in here. So that's where you want the arms to come into, due to the depth of the hip going back. Then we have a look at this from the front view, and we can see there, great rotation. It's really, really good. Now what we're trying to do is let that left knee re-rotate, so it's actually going out in this direction. So it separates, left knee moves away from the right, which then gets your sternum on top of the ball. Started the start session thinking about the left leg straightening, but actually that was backing you out of it a little bit. So we changed the intention, and we got that to feel like the right shoulder is moving forwards on top. So actually getting that to that position then allows that right ankle to begin to roll. Right shoulder's a lot more than on top of the ball, and you can then control the club face so much better, getting back to hitting a little cut. When you're pushing with the left leg, it was actually making that right hand have to extend too much, because it was pushing your head, in your words, mate, out the door.
And that's it, simple as that as far as technique goes. To be fair, there's a lot of that we've already touched upon in the past. I've just not been good enough to get it ingrained, but also we simplified it a little bit today. I think certainly during the comp and leading up to it, I just kept replaying older lessons in my head and kept searching and had a million different things running through my head as far as technique is concerned, which I know I shouldn't do. I know you shouldn't do. Dan knows everyone shouldn't do it, but listen, it's just golf. It happens like that sometimes. So at least a bit more of a clearer direction now in what's going on.
Honestly, the hardest thing I've ever tried to change. So first of all, let's have a look at how I finish within the North Region Champs. And then we can have a chat about why changing my mental game is so difficult, and why it's going to be so difficult if you want to follow my lead. Recording this a few days after the lesson with Dan and after the second round at Pleasanton, and I'm feeling a lot more refreshed, so I managed to get a decent night's sleep last night, which was great. But that became important on the back nine of this comp. So you can see the front nine here started off actually pretty well, so 1 under through 2. I was still hitting it pretty squirrely. I was still hitting it a little bit all over the place. And I was 3 under for that front nine. Lucky a little bit, but also missed actually a couple of short putts. I could have been 5 under pretty easily on that front nine. It just, things slotted into place a little bit better than they had done recently. But then onto the back nine, you can see, I think fortunes changed a little bit. I was 4 over for that back nine, and the birdie that I had, that was kind of fortuitous as well. It was a good chip in. And that put me tied 19th, which wasn't too bad. Everything considered, shooting 3 over for a combination of those 2 rounds, it probably was very fair. Because yes, I could have got a lot lower in this second round, but I could have been so much higher in that first round. Now on to just how difficult I found the changes I'm trying to make. The positives: visualization before the shot. I can do that. I'm actually really confident about that. Maybe because of what I've done editing wise, looking at the shot traces, I can kind of picture my swing and picture the shots pretty easily. Keeping up throughout the entire round is a little bit tricky, but it is that pause just before you hit. What shot do I want to hit? And then you just allow the mind to form that image. Controlling my emotions after every shot. Wow. So difficult to do. It is unbelievable. Whenever I hit a shot, there's always an immediate reaction, always. And you think about your own game now when you hit a shot, if you're like a normal human being, there will be that reaction. And during my second round, I only managed, out of 72 shots, to have 2 holes holes where I managed to keep my emotions completely in check and not react too high or too low. Everything else there was a reaction. Either it was a, oh, come on, be good, or a, oh no, or a, no. There's a few of those. And Lee and Tom at Winning Golf Mind explain all this. They explain you need to practice it. It's going to be hard. They also mentioned that it's going to be very tiring. Now, to me, that didn't make a lot of sense because it's just changing a little bit of a mindset, is controlling your emotions. But wow, actually concentrating on a mental change you're trying to make is very, very tiring. It sounds silly. It sounds like it shouldn't be, but it really, really is. And this played quite a big part during my second 9 holes when I should have been kicking on and I could have got pretty high up the leaderboard if I'd have carried on the way I was doing on that front 9, but I was knackered. I could not think clearly at all. And there was a marked increase in the number of marks against not following my routine, not thinking clearly, not keeping that level emotional reaction on my shots on that back 9. So as I got tireder and tireder and tireder, my mental performance also got weaker and weaker, which makes sense. The huge plus for me is I shot 3 over those 2 rounds, not playing very well. That's what's exciting about the Quest for the Open series for me. It's the fact that I'm exploring new areas, I'm trying these areas out, and then hopefully once I've learned fully what I'm doing, you guys are going to benefit from this as well. And let me know the things that you've tried on your course from a psychological standpoint, which has aided you in your own little quest. So I've got quite a few comps coming up in the remainder of August and September. I've also got some really, really cool videos coming as well outside the Quest for the Open, so stay tuned for them. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Please get into those comments as mentioned and like this video. Big congratulations to Phil Archer, who won the competition as well. 5 under over the 2 rounds, 5 on the first round, level second round. Second day was playing tougher. Big congratulations. And also to Pleasanton, beautiful course, and the PJ for getting these tournaments organised in obviously very difficult conditions and circumstances. All right, guys. See you soon.